Hi there, everyone. My name is Christian Eschbach, and welcome to another one of my album reviews. Got the house to myself, so I'm in front of the cabinet today. Just selected out today's choice of review, and we're going to be discussing Nirvana in Utero. The only Nirvana album I actually still own and have in my possession. I used to have Nevermind. I also had Unplugged. I believe I gave both those to my daughter. I was into Nirvana when they first came out, like everybody else. Hey, they're cool, they're new, they're something different. And honestly, by the time In Utero came out, I was pretty much out of Nirvana. I really had little to no use left for them. That being said, I think this is their best album. And if Kurt Cobain hadn't killed himself, there's a possibility that things may have gone on longer. Maybe they would have released an album I liked better than this one, but this is the only one I actually still will listen to. And even then, it's once in a while, and I've got to be in the mood for it. So let's get into this. Album opens up with "Serve the Servants." It's not a bad way to open the album. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's not bad, but it's not great. It works. From there we go into "Scentless Apprentice," and that one's another one where, honestly, the first two songs on the album to me are always skippers. When I put the album on, the very first thing I do is I go straight to track 3, which is "Heart Shaped Box." I absolutely love "Heart Shaped Box." I think it's a fantastic song, and I loved the video for it. It was one of the few songs that was released from Nirvana that I didn't find the video overplayed. Only because the video was something really different, something really out there, and disturbing for some people, but I really love what they were going for, and amazing video. But the song itself, I love. I love when Kurt gets a little more downplayed. He's not all yelly and screamy, and you can actually hear the poetry of his lyrics. You can actually hear what he's talking about. And "Heart Shaped Box" is one of those songs where you understand why people fell in love with Kurt Cobain the way they did. Which is funny because, as a great juxtaposition to that, you also have "Rape Me," which is the next song, track 4. "Rape Me" is another one where you gotta listen to it, and the fact that it's not really yelly and screamy. I mean, you get a little screaming and a little yelling, but only when it's being passionate and it's justified. It's not the whole nonstop. Like, you find on other tracks that are on here. So when I was in high school, I had this one teacher, clearly didn't read the lyrics, didn't pay attention to the song, just heard the words "rape me" being said over and over again. Kind of, I don't want to say blew a gasket about it, but really wasn't a fan. And it really took another student having to explain to him entirely what the song was about. And, he was totally blowing it out the wrong way, because the song wasn't about the actual physicality of, raping another human being or wanting to be raped by another human being. It's not about that type of submission. It's actually about mental rape, and how some will say Kurt felt that, the music industry was raping him mentally. So yeah, that's that. I personally enjoy the song, but it's not one I crank up because sensibilities. Even when I was younger, it wasn't one I would crank up. Okay, so from there we go to "Frances Farmer Will Have Her Revenge." This is one of the better songs on this album musically. I really love the intricacies of this song and how they play with it and whatnot. Chris Novoselic, unfortunately, I find, he really gets, especially now with Dave Grohl with the Foo Fighters. You got Dave Grohl with the Foo Fighters, you got Kurt Cobain as the main leader, basically, of Nirvana. Chris Novoselic kind of gets lost a little bit, but his bass lines were cool, man. The guy could lay down some kick-ass bass riffs, and Frances Farmer is a great illustration of what he can do on the bass. It was really cool, and I just totally get in on it, man. The full track, my apologies, is Francis Farmer Will Have a Revenge on Seattle. I missed the where it turned and said on Seattle part. Sorry. From there we go on to three songs that once again I'm at skip mode. I don't like Dumb. I'm not huge on Very Ape. Milk It's not bad, but I don't listen to it. Milk It's kind of a little coolish, a little whatever. Then you get to Penny Royalty, and I really dig Penny Royalty, man. Once again, Kurt is being poetic, and he's actually singing. He's actually giving a little bit. He's not just screaming like a wounded animal in a snare. That's how he sounds to me half the time when he gets on those screaming bits, which makes sense when you hear about when he goes on about his back pain and stuff like that. I don't know. Anyways, yeah. After that, we go into Radio Friendly Unit Shifter. Meh. Alright. Tourette's. Meh. Alright. Then the album finishes off with my absolute favorite Nirvana track, but it has to be this version, and that is All Apologies. I absolutely, beyond a shadow of a doubt, loathe the unplugged version. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what anybody thinks. The unplugged version is shite compared to this version. And for me, this album here, okay, I think it would have been better as an EP if a couple of the other tracks had been pulled out of here. But I think that this album had two great cuts on it, and either one would have been perfect for finishing out this album. Heart-Shaped Box or All Apologies. Either one would have been perfect for finishing out this album. However, All Apologies is beautiful as a final goodbye, if you like. Whether or not Kurt meant it that way, no one will ever know. But All Apologies was a great closer. However, I think All Apologies would have been a unique but awesome opener on this album if they had gone with Heart-Shaped Box as the closer. So, those are my views. That's what I think. Artwork. Jeez, I don't think I've looked at the artwork in here since, the album first came out in the 90s. Yeah, that's about what I expect. You got the lyrics inside here. You got some pictures. The original-ish artwork, and photography and that's kind of cool. Nothing spectacular, though. Nothing to write home about. So yeah, that's it. That's everything. That's my views on Nirvana's Utero, the only Nirvana album I ever felt worth keeping in my collection. That's what I had kids for, to pass on the ones that I didn't want that they thought were cool. Anyways, until next time, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Hit the subscribe button. You get notifications when new videos come out that way. Also, hit that like button, and it helps me out. Otherwise, peace, love, and take care.